4129. I came here just briefly to speak from the heart and to tell you the truth about some things that only I would know about and some of the other people who came through it with me. I'm here to tell you that my grandmother was Eldoris Mccondishi, who was a race ride survivor, died at the age of 99 almost 2 years ago. My father, Elber Mccondishi, died also working to build this park, saving Booker T and Carver. Here I stand, and I have a son who is 15 behind me. I am here to tell you that for the last 4 generations, we have been fighting for the same land, for the same property, the same buildings that have been ours all along. And I'm here to let you know something that you may not know about not only B.C. Franklin, but Springdale. I'm going to do it as quick as I can. I don't need to look at any notes, straight from the heart. I was born here in Tulsa at Moton Hospital in 1959. I went to the schools here in Tulsa. In that neighborhood I lived, 2311 North Wheeling. The park they're talking about, Wheeling Avenue, is the only park that we had at that time. After the assassination of Robert F. Kennedy, the killing of Martin Luther King, and the killing of Robert Kennedy, the government, the United States had enough. Lyndon B. Johnson decided that they would stop segregation and integration. The city of Tulsa decided the way to integrate Tulsa Public Schools was to take the black children, the Negro children on the north side, and bus them to the other side of town. I was one of those children. My thing is, until I was 12, I lived in a black world. We had all black grocery stores on the north side. We had stores. We had Piggly Wigglies. We had bowling alleys. We had everything. We never had to venture south. The only time that we really had to venture, my father worked for American Airlines. My mother was the first black nurse at Tulsa University, and at the time she worked at St. Francis. What I'm trying to tell you is they interrupted my world, and they loaded me on a bus. They sent me from right where B.C. Franklin Park is over to Cleveland Junior High School. When we got over there, sir, they were almost in a riot mode. We got there, the bus driver told us it was my job to get you to school. I can't get you to the school, and I can't take you back home. So they busted out the back of the bus. He told us we're in an emergency situation. And when I bust this door open, you children run for your lives. This just very quickly, they built, we ascended on, yes sir, we ascended on Springdale Park, and that's why my passion is with Springdale. We boycotted there. Then there was no B.C. Franklin. They built B.C. Franklin for us to get us on the other side of the tracks back in our neighborhood. B.C. Franklin at this time has been dilapidated because the city of Tulsa did not keep it up. I'm here to say I wouldn't mind so much the amenities that they're proposing. But amenity means something that's added to. An amenity is not just that. So if we have the amenity, my son is 15. A splash pad would not benefit him, but a splash pad would benefit some of the children that I work for in that neighborhood. So I wouldn't mind so much just a splash pad. But we have nowhere else for the children to go. When the children change the clothes to go to the splash pad, there's nowhere for them to change the clothes. What I'm trying to tell you, sir, in all the little time that I've had here, is that we don't need any more tearing up of our city. Our problem is when we tear down this part of the city, then we have to move to the other part of the city.
So this is the Board of Adjustment, and,
right?
And we have the ability to modify the site plan and approve what they propose or deny it. Would you like us to deny it?
Well, what I would like for you to do, listen. Yes, sir.
Let me hear from this young lady.
Yes, sir. What I am saying, in order to implement a modification, it's really not a modification. A modification is something that you change. You're tearing down and building up. So the wording is not correct, and I understand the mistake. But in order to modify, in order to build these amenities, you have to tear down a building, and that's where the problem is. We don't need the building torn down, and we've had money available for it. So it's no longer about the money. And the current mayor has told me personally for the last 2 years, we're going to get some water back in those pools. Hold on, Miss Joy, we're going to get some water back in those pools. And I have been down here since I heard wind of this. In January, I've been to the city council meetings, almost all of them. And I agree, we have no business here in front of the Board of Adjustment, except that it's a legal loophole to tear that building down and proceed, not with caution, but to, just like the man said, the torpedo is already in the air. And unless we get something to stop it, right in, and then maybe they have taken your department. They are utilizing, and I feel sorry for the 3 of you in absence of your other 2 members. And a brand new member that's getting ready to start.
We do too.
I know, but I think that they tricked you. They have utilized the terminology. It is an insult to my intelligence. And the reason that I am standing here, and I don't need the papers, I'm speaking from my heart, sir, is because I'm here, God sent me down here to tell y'all, this ain't right. I know that is not grammatically correct, of which I'm able to speak, but I'm just telling you, just in layperson's terms, y'all is wrong for this. And what I'm trying to tell you is, we don't, if you're going to tear it down anyway. And that's what you are telling us.
Well,
they
that's what
told
they're
you,
telling
yeah,
us.
that's what they're telling you, and that is not what they have communicated effectively to us. They are telling us one thing. That's why I'm saying they have come to you, and I like Lucy. I'm waiting on my lunch already. Made friends with Lucy, but I'm telling you right now that they are using you to issue some dirty pool. That's exactly what it is, and they have taken this venue to come in and to solve their problems when they know that the entire community is against this. Really?
We're gonna ask them about that.
Well, I would appreciate that, because we need some answers. And then I know my time is up, but I've been watching the clock, and we're right on our 30 minutes. I'm gonna get this lady her to ask a couple of minutes, something like this. But somebody needed to tell you the truth instead of all this fancy terminology and these legal loopholes to do exactly what they have put. And my problem is, what do you want with the land? There's nothing else left over there. Booker T. Washington is a school that the people in the community can't even go to.
Right, that's right.
So we there, and if I may, sir, very quickly, our community cannot absorb another modification. You understand? If you modify Cousins Park or Whiteside Park, then you have the Promenade Mall, you have skate land, you have the bowling alley, you have an ice rink, you just put up a new River Parks thing, you finna build a new Guthrie Park over here, Cousins Park, they allocated $330,000. I sat there and watched them, and I asked Representative Lakin, how did you get $330,000 for the parks, and you didn't have the money at $870,000 that we've already allocated? And furthermore, it's against the law. The city attorney said it was against the law to take bond money and use it for some other purpose than what was allocated. So if your department approves modifications, which means you're going to tear down a building, put up some stuff that can only be used seasonal, and violate the trust, we got nowhere else to go. If this is our last stop, we're going to have to go to the federals or somebody, and then we're going to have a bigger...
Well, we appreciate you coming down.
I will I want to tell the world. I want to use the internet to tell the world. So know that if you all do this, the whole world will watch.
Ma'am, you're out of order.
Don't matter. You all
I am so sorry, sir, but you understand the passion, you understand the trickery.
We understand, and let us hear from this last speaker. We
Appreciate your time, appreciate everybody. Thank you.
Thank you very much.